Hello guys and welcome back to Benji. So today is my review for issue 191 of the Walking Dead comic book series titled The Last Stand. And I have not read this issue. I can't wait to read this issue. It'll be my first time going through it and I can't wait. But if you've just come from my issue 190 review and just knowing what happens in that issue, knowing why I'm excited for this issue, because recently the last few issues, like issue 187 and 188, have been pretty lacklusting, and I didn't really want to review them because it didn't really pique my interest. But it's the last stand now. Pamela has ordered her Greenville army to attack, but will there be bloodshed in this issue? Let's find out. As I open this, as I'm viewing this on a screen, it says, The Last Stand. Previously, Mercer's coup against Governor Milton forces Rick to choose a side, but time's running out for everyone as a herd is headed straight for the Commonwealth. Citizens flee to safety, but Maggie's team arrives from Hilltop to drive the walkers away. With the streets cleared, Milton returns, accusing Rick of betrayal before ordering her troops to attack Rick and his allies. But as the end of the last issue, Pamela just ordered straight attack, which is kind of a reference to issue 119, which was the penultimate issue in the first half of All Out War, so part 5. Negan saying attack because he was going to bomb Alexandria, but Rick has said no, stop. And you get more brilliant double-page spreads of Rick saying, please, we don't have to do this. We have time, we can talk, we can work this out, please. And just the other side of Pamela Milton, it's just seeing those two sides in front of a massive, I'm guessing it's the mayor's office, so it's two sides ready to clash in the middle for the control. Obviously, Greenville don't attack. Pamela's like, what are you doing? Rick's just we're being reasonable, Pamela. Something I know that you're capable, I've seen it. Try again, unless you want to fight this fight on your own. Dun dun. Oh, I'm so and Pamela's just pissed off at this point. She just thinks everyone's out to get her. But I think Rick is just giving a speech. He's like, we don't want to fight. Killing each other will succeed nothing. It'll cost lives. That's too great. And there's let's not do that again. And Rick says, I've fallen in love with the Commonwealth. I've seen what you've accomplished here, and it's wondrous. I would fight it. I would fight to maintain it. I would kill to protect it. I would. I have. So I understand why we're here right now. And he's like, look at he's taking his coat off and taking his arm off, and he's like, but I look around and I see fear and anger and hatred, and that's not what this place is about. That's not who we are. And he raises his stump up like it does on the cover, and he says, this is who we are. He raises his arm and he says, this world has scarred us mentally and physically, but we carry those scars with us each and every day. And I think you know where I'm going to go with this, but if you remember back in issue 24 of the comic, he says a very iconic line, and I think that's what they do in this issue, because I've heard so many people read about it, and I've seen news articles about it, and he just goes on the speech, he mimics the speech, but says it differently. I think he says, we do not live minute to minute in minutes stolen from the dead. We can be happy, we can be content, we can have peace, we can live again. And he says his most iconic line, or a revamp of the most iconic line, we are not the Walking Dead. Look, there you go, we are not the Walking Dead. And that's what I love about this series. I mean, Rick, as a character, he's gone so far. And to think, 100, what's the difference between those two issues? So it's 191, take away 24, that's 167 issues. 167, basically Andrea's entire time on The Walking Dead, from saying we are The Walking Dead to the we are not The Walking Dead. And that is such a brilliant line. I think that's just the most iconic Rick line that's ever been said, either in comics or TV. But he's I ask you, people of the Commonwealth, is this Rick's just Pamela, no, you just fight, you'll kill people to maintain power. And he's I ask you, people of the Commonwealth, is that the leader that you want? or that you deserve, and it's just a massive no. Like, he yells it. Like, I feel like, yeah, and everyone raises their arms in the background like they did for the cover of issue 190. I feel like that's where they got it from. I think that's just like a little hint, and he's just like, look, let your voice be heard. We're gonna have an election, and Mercer just straight up arrests Pamela. She's like, let's just get it over. Let's just get it over with. Put me in jail. And Mercer's like, show's over. Let's all go home. But Sebastian, the little bastard, or as many people have called him now, new Goffrey. If you don't know who Goffrey is, he's from Game of Thrones, and he's one of the most sadistic children ever to grace TV shows. He is the like, you got Goffrey, you've got Ramsay Snow, and then you got Sebastian. Like, he's the top dog, and he's just like, look, you need us, you're lost without us. And then Pamela's just like, Sebastian, unless you want to end up in a cell next to me, shut the fuck up. So Sebastian's just like got all this pent up anger, and like, he can't do anything about it. His family have lost. He needs to accept it. But Mercer is congratulating Rick. It's like, you've inspired these people, and Sebastian, the bastardy Goffrey, doesn't want to help anyone. Like, Aaron says, oh hey, do you want to give us a hand? And Jesus is like, what an arsehole. And Pamela's back in jail. Rick goes to visit her and say, look, I think you actually believe that you think you get carried away. Slaughter's like, she was willing to slaughter hundreds of people just to maintain power, just to be feared. But then Rick lets her go, and she's like, look, you're just so nice. But then she's let go. Rick has a little council meeting with Michonne, and he tells her that morale in the Commonwealth has been at an all-time high. Everyone is happy and optimistic. Future candidates are lining up for the first organised election. See, society's growing back on each other. We're actually getting back to how we used to be. And Rick's just like, I'm not running for it. Like, everyone's like, Rick is the clear runner-up to be leader of the Commonwealth, but he says no. And we finally get a nice little Carl Rick scene. He says, are you going to do it? And Rick says, run for governor? Definitely not. And, like, Carl's just like, look, I don't know, Dad. From my perspective, it always seems like you can see into the future. How do you always know what's right? And he just says, it's just a feeling. And Rick's just like, look, mine is too. Like, they have their feeling to know what is right. And then Carl and Rick just go, like, Carl just goes, I'm proud you're my father. And Carl's like, I'm proud you're my son. And then they go off to have a nice, like, go to sleep. But it carries on. Rick is in his bed, and fucking Goffrey, or Sebastian knew Goffrey, comes in with a suppressed pistol to assassinate Rick. And I'm pissed off with this so much. He's like, Sebastian, you don't want to do this. He's like, all I want to do is watch, like, he's saying it's all his hard work and his mum's hard work, when probably his mum's done most of the hard work. And he's not going to let it go down the drain because of Rick. And he's like, unlike everyone else, you can't tell me what to do. I've heard your people of how they talk, and they feel like they think he's some sort of god, and Rick Grimes is God. I'm not saying he is, but probably the most shocking part of this issue has to be when Rick is shot through the heart, or in the chest. People claim he's been shot through the heart, but I claim he's not. I claim Rick will still live, but he's like bleeding out, and Sebastian's like, oh fuck, what did he's so shocked, and Rick just goes, what did you do? And that ends issue 191. I'm not joking, that is the end of the issue. He goes, what did you do? And it's so reminiscent of the cover of issue 45, where he's literally just, it's the cover, I'll put up here or something, and it's like where he's holding the stomach wound from when he was attacked at the prison, and to think, like, they're doing so many callbacks, and I feel like the speech definitely from Rick Grimes in this issue has definitely been a signal. People have been saying it's a signal for his death. I really don't want Rick Grimes to die. I know we've got issue 182 to look forward to, but I want issue 192 right now, because seeing that just screams more trouble than it's worth, and I want Sebastian to be eaten alive. I don't think anyone has hated Sebastian more. I think like he's more hated than the governor or Negan, and it's just like, what the fuck. But I hope Rick survives. I really want him to, but obviously we still have issue 182 and 183 to go on. I don't want Rick to die. I want him to... like people say that... I think Robert Kirkman said that he wanted Rick to go on a 300 issue arc. But again, if this is where he ends here, then this is where he ends. I'm not going to complain, because we've lost Rick in the TV show, and now we're going to lose him in the comic book. 16 years we've been following this character since the series began, and it's just... for him to die by the hands of a cunt like Goffrey, or Sebastian. I don't know why I keep calling him Goffrey. I really wish they called him Goffrey in the show, or not in the show, in the book. But what can you do? I mean, that's really my thoughts on the issue. I hope you can give yours as well. I look forward to issue 192. I'll definitely be reviewing issue 192 to see how this all ends. What this arc ends, because this is the final part of volume 32. And to think that we've come so far. And I'm loving the whole, we are the Walking Dead, we are not the Walking Dead. To think Rick had long hair and like going over his face and just all cuts and bruises, but now he's like clean, shaved head, long beard. We are not. But that's all I really have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you have not done already. I can't wait to see you guys in the issue 192 review. I'll speak to you guys in a bit.